Welcome back, welcome! No, I'm playing. So welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Mercury and what I love about Mercury. Before I talk about Mercury, I'm just gonna briefly talk about how I'm working on a Pluto series, which will be a little bit more beautiful. I'm gonna edit it and do all that stuff, to keep up with the Joneses, so to say. But until then, I'm going to just record these, fast kind of videos where my quick analysis and interpretation of, the different signs and how they play out in everyday life. Because, we can read about this stuff. I read many astrology textbooks. I watched many, great, fantastic astrologers, and I've seen a lot of stuff personally, and I can correlate that. But at the same time, who sometimes you just need to see what it's like in real life, you know what I mean? So here's my interpretation of Mercury series, or Mercury through the sign. Sorry, I can't edit that out because I'm too lazy. Or but so Mercury is a sign of how someone intellectualizes and communicates. Mercury is the kind of they talk about the ascendant being really the first thing a person meets, but to be honest, it's Mercury hidden through, so here's your ascendant, and then Mercury is coming out and be like, yeah. So and you can tell I have Mercury in Aries, right? Because I just can't stop talking. So actually no, that's because it's sextile to my Mars and Gemini, so it's like the twins and in the air, the ram, they just love each other. Anyways, so we're gonna go through the signs. Here's my interpretations, and then after the interpretations, we're gonna sit there and see. Well, it's kind of like an analysis interpretation. Well, you'll find out. So Mercury in Aries, fast, driven. Well, blah 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 blah. I love Mercury in Aries because people are like, yes, let's talk and get directly to the point. I don't like you. That's Mercury in Aries. They'll be like, no. Mercury in Aries is done it, the done deal. Now Mercury in Taurus, it's more thought out. Unlike Mercury in Gemini, where you just can't stop talking in your chatterbox, oh my god, Anna, how are you doing today? Oh my god, did you see that the rocket just fell? Oh my god, what are you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. But then there's a big puddle right there. Do you see it? But that's like Mercury in Gemini. Mercury in Cancer. Yeah, that's Mercury in Cancer for you. Mercury in Leo. Mercury and Leo, they're like, oh, the best thing just happened to me today. You would not believe it. The king just came back from the royal court and appointed me to his gesture position. Unlike a Mercury and Virgo, which would be like, the details and what you're really trying to say. When I calculate them and put them in order, I do see that you are not guilty. And then the Libra's like, not guilty, but all the evidence stuck this way, and I'm passionate about that. No, I'm just playing. Mercury and Libra, I've not really met too many people with that placement, but Mercury and Libra is very much so balance, and they'll agree with you and agree with you and agree with you, and then when they don't agree with you, you'll know it. And then there's Mercury and Scorpio. The reason why you're mad is because you hate your life, and the reason why you hate your life is because your childhood sucked, and blah 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 blah. They'll dissect you and they'll spit you out when you piss them off. They also like to jump to conclusions and not really jump to conclusions, but they like to just jump in, get to the bottom of the mess, problem solve it, move on next. Mercury and Sagittarius people, they love to just they go into this when you talk to them, it's like going on this long adventure, and then this thing just happened and it was so great, and you're like, yeah, it's like you're right there in their communication, like you're following their story, and I love it. I keep saying this, but I have a lot of friends with all these placements. But I'm not saying that I have all these placements. Anyways, so and then we got Mercury in Capricorn. Let's talk about some money. Mercury and Capricorn people are very methodical in their speech, and they're really they get to the point in a very punctual way, but they're not the most to talk about their feelings, but that's more the moon sign anyways. So, and then there's Aquarius, and these people, good luck trying to communicate with them in person. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche, but really, good luck. You'll get IMs, you'll get, Snapchats, you'll get everything that's new and fancy, innovative. Hell, someone probably is communicating right now through YouTube as a Mercury and Aquarius, but they're not really ones for, the day to day. They'll have conversations. Obviously, they're human, but they're off, just trying to figure out the next new way of communication. And so, more power to them. And Mercury and Pisces, for those of you that are watching this, don't get offended by anything I say. No playing. So Mercury and Pisces, they're very confusing for me. But that's because I have I don't have time to sort things out. I'm off the races when it comes to communication. So, but Mercury and Pisces, I feel like they're very much. They're kind of like the I think this must be the Jupiter quality, but kind of like the Mercury and Sagittarius, where they tell you a story. Except for Mercury and Pisces, when they tell you a story or when they communicate to you, you don't know what's up from down, left from right anymore. It's just like one big kind of like communication blast, and you're kind of like, what the hell did they just say? So, and yeah, so I mean, that's just, my interpretation of the Mercury signs. Now, be on the lookout for my Pluto series. My Pluto series is not going to be through the signs because they're generational planets, and I'm not going to waste my time talking about the different generations of Pluto, but rather the aspects they have on inner planets. And so I'm very fascinated on how a Pluto in a house affects that house, as well as it affects the inner planet placements that they may have, or like a conjunction to a moon or something. So you have something that's really personal with something that's been built up kind of over the generations, and kind of it's in. So I have my interpretation of that. So be on the lookout for my Pluto series. Until then, goodbye everyone. I shall see you in the future.